Hello and welcome to my today's video. I decided to make it yesterday. When I came back from the movies, I was watching Ransak-jin episode tour, and I had really warm feelings about it, but also it is somewhat like an end of some time, of some period when they were performing on their own, like different BTS members. And I haven't been to any of their concerts live, but I have been to all of the movies that they released. The August D one, the Hope on Stage one, and this Seokjin's one as well. And since the next tour, the next concerts that we are going to see are going to be BTS all together, from what I understand, I decided to make this video to kind of make for myself like a line and to make some memory of the impressions that I got from all of the concerts of all three of the members. And another reason why I decided to make this video was because I had this feeling and I had this very strong sense that all of these concerts were very extremely different, like very, very different shows in the way they were organized, in the feeling from them, in the impression from them, and in what they moved inside of me. And I wanted this to be somewhere as a memory for me as well. So I will start with the first concert that I've been to, the first movie that I've been to, and that was obviously D-Day, Yoongi's tour. And I remember very vividly that I was so impressed by it. It was the first time that I've ever seen the concert of the K-pop idol, generally. But also now I realize that, like, I remember that when I left the movies, I was in shock. Like, honestly, I was shocked from how much of everything it moved inside of me, how much of everything it stirred inside of me, and how much power I felt in it. And I kind of thought that it was just the general quality of all of the K-pop idols, maybe BTS idols, I don't know. But when I watched Hope on Stage and Jin's concert, it was a very different impression. It was also strong, but it wasn't as powerful as it was from Yoongi's concert. And I kind of feel like now returning to that impression, I remember that when I came back from the concert, I even have a note in my journal about that. And I remember thinking and questioning what makes him so powerful. What makes him so powerful? Why does he feel so powerful? And to a very big extent, it was, when was it? It was 2024? 2023? I already don't remember. Can you imagine? 2023, right? 2 years ago. To a big extent, my further path, it was 2024, right? My further path, the way I was developing as a person, was defined by the answers that I was finding to the question why Yoongi is so powerful. Because I believe that Yoongi was so powerful because he knew himself very well. And he could show himself in every way that he was, even his darkest, even his dirtiest, even his most ugliest parts, as he believes they are, but without any excuses. I am like this. I am what I am. You can't tell me anything because you are like that too. You have your dirt too, and you have your darkness too, and don't you fucking dare to tell me anything that there is something wrong with me. That was one of the reasons why I feel like Yoongi is this, like he impresses so much, me personally. And that was something that kind of changed the trajectory of my life, I think. And also, the whole concert was it felt, probably because it wasn't on the stadium or in open space, it felt very intimate. And also because of the content of it, because of the meaning of it, because of how it was staged, because of the scenario of it, because how it was performed and presented, because of the lights and of the decorations and everything. it was really, really this sense of intimacy, that something very deep and very profound and very personal has been shared. And I still remember the feeling from it. It was like so long ago, and I still remember the feeling from it. And I still feel the parts of me that reconfigured or appeared because of that concert. And even this blog, to a big extent, exists because of that. And I'm so grateful for this experience and for Yoongi, for what he is and for what he creates. Like, Yoongi for me forever will be one of the most important people and idols in everything, in the world. As for the Hoseok tour, for me, Hoseok has this energy. And you probably know that, Hoseok, I don't know, maybe it's not true actually, but I've always thought that Hoseok is the least biased one in BTS. And it's very, it has been very, on the one hand, strange and unpleasant for me. On the other hand, very understandable, because Hoseok has this energy, and it's also defined probably by his nature, just how he was born. And astrologically and numerologically, it is very logical that he is like this, because he was born in February. February people are sometimes very hard to grasp. And also he is an Aquarius, and also he was born on the 18th. And the 18 is the reflection of the arcana of the moon, which makes his energy very, hard to grasp. I constantly have this feeling as if he slips through my fingers, like the moonlight, that is falling onto my fingers, and it just slips through my fingers, and I can't grasp it. I can't hold it. But still, I remember that my impression from his concert was that he is an artist. There are not so many, all of them are artists, obviously. All of them are very impressive. But there are not so many idols in K-pop who could only be performers. Yoongi could be something else. Seokjin could be something else. I don't know, Jungkook could be anything. I feel like Hoseok could only be a performer of some kind, either a dancer or a singer. And it shows. Because his concert was a show. With all of the decorations again, and with all of the dances, and with everything, the way it was presented, with the way it was done, it was a show. It was an incredible show. It was the show of the highest quality. The highest quality show that you can see, that you can receive. And Hoseok ensures it with this quality of him, the quality of an artist, the quality of a singer, the quality of a performer generally. And I loved it so much about Hoseok. I was there with my cousin, who is not a K-pop stan. And she left, I remember we left the hall, and she was like, oh my God, is he the coolest in BTS? Because I don't believe that he is not the best and the coolest artist in BTS. Because if he is not, what are they, the rest of them? I was like, well, they all have their strengths and weaknesses. But Hoseok, I feel like Hoseok is very, very, performer kind of an artist. And that shows. And it's really impressive. And it's really beautiful and really entertaining to look at. And as for Seokjin, Seokjin, also known as the reason why I'm making this video, I was at his, in the movies, at his concert just yesterday. And when I think about it, I feel like my heart becomes so full of love that I'm about to explode. Because Seokjin feels like home. Seokjin I have a strategy. Whenever I start to cry, I start to continue speaking, and I distract myself. You know, like you distract a toddler from crying. I distract myself during the videos to continue speaking. Seokjin feels like home. Yes, I don't know if I need to say anything else because it's already very clear. But the energy of Seokjin, the quality that I have from him all the time, but it was especially concentrated in his concert. There's this quality of home, of the place where you feel safe, of the place where you feel warm, of the place where you feel cozy, of the place where you feel accepted and understood, or of a place where you are spoiled, in a place where it's not always easy and it's not always the, softest and brightest and lightest emotions and, sensations, because the songs were very different. Some of them were pretty sad, some of them were very epic and even dire a little bit. I'm speaking about another level, for example. But it's still the place where you feel very accepted and very that we will figure it out. I get this sense from Seokjin all the time. I will figure it out. And he once said it was in some interview that you don't stop breathing, then the air is bad. And this is like the thing that I am going through, like every time something is difficult and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I shouldn't, like it's difficult, so I will not do what I planned to do. And then I'm like, well, Seokjin said, you don't stop breathing, then the air is bad. And I continue doing my thing, even when it's not the best conditions. And I'm really happy that Seokjin exists. During the concert, I literally turned to my friend and I said, I want to stay here. I want to live here. I want to stay here forever in this. And this is the feeling that I got from Seokjin. And also, he's so silly. He is so silly. If you have seen the concert, if you have been to a concert, at the end, there was a karaoke of Super Tuna. Twice. And it was so silly, and it was so Seokjin, and it was so, the concert finished, nobody moved. Like all the people were still sitting in their places as if waiting for something. And then all the credit rolls, and there were some videos from production, from something like this. Nobody moved. Everybody, always in the movies, somebody starts to move, somebody starts to leave, the main part is over. During this concert, nobody moved. Everybody was sitting in their places. When the karaoke of Super Tuna was, everybody was, singing, dancing, nobody left. And even when the first time finished, nobody moved. And then we had Super Tuna for the second time. And then we were like, okay, we need to go now. Nobody wanted to leave. It felt so good. So I'm really, really grateful for Jin, for the kind of a person he is, and for everything that he brings, and for everything that he creates, and for the sense that he radiates. My cheeks are hurting from smiling too much. That's why I'm finishing the video. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.